Hey, welcome back to the show. Mark Cottrell is a nutritional specialist and former power lifter. He's helping me in my goal to lose 35 pounds this summer. He can help you too. Mark, welcome to the show. Nutritional specialist for power. Look at the guns on this guy. If I knew you were going to come dressed like that, I would have worn my shirt, my cutoff shirts. Welcome aboard. I'd love to have you on here. Losing weight is one of the biggest things that most folks want to do. How to lose it, how to keep it off. You know, I came to you, your name came to me. I was trying to lose some weight. Your name popped up, came to you. So far, my goal was 35. I've lost 11. You've been working with me. Now, what's sort of the common denominator when folks come to you? What's the common thing you're hearing when they want to lose weight?
That it's a struggle. They've tried different diets, so-called diets in the past. They may get a little bit of success with those, but they always rebound and they put extra weight back on. So they're not really sure who to turn to and how to actually go about it. And what I'm finding is they don't really have the educational piece behind it. They're just following one fad to the next, and they're not able to actually sustain that. And they get bored with the foods, bored with the selection. It's just not working for them.
Pack the weight back on, see.
Right.
And my issue is I like chicken wings and some beer every now and then, Mark. So I'm not going to be afraid to tell you. So my issue is how do you moderate that? And what you did with me, you said, listen, tell me the foods you like to eat. Tell me your work schedule. Tell me your workout schedule. And then you devised a plan for me that met my schedule. So you personalize that plan. So for me, my biggest issue, too, is proteins, carbohydrates, fats.
Right.
I have no clue on how to combine them. I know, base knowledge, proteins for energy, carbs for energy.
Right.
Protein helps the body. Fat is not good, but then there are good fats. There are good protein, bad protein, bad carbohydrates.
Correct.
How do you go about balancing proteins, carbo, fat so that you're burning fat? Because that's the key, is to combine these things together where you're burning it.
Right. Everything in moderation, basically. You have to have a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of carbohydrates, and a certain amount of fat. But
we say certain amount, but most of us don't know how much. So, see, we say a certain amount. The average person has no clue. So I'm sure you know they'll load up on carbohydrates or too much protein, or they have big power shakes and think they're doing very well with that. You're saying no. So how do you know what's enough? What's a good balance?
Well, that's where I would come in. Actually, I'd sit you down and we actually talk about your exercise regime, how active you are throughout the day, your work schedule, and I would just get to know you personally to see what kind of day that you're really having, how many calories that you're going to need. So I would formulate the program by speaking with you directly, and I'd devise a plan that would actually state how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat, basically dependent upon you. Each person would be different. So you don't really want to just get a basic, we'll say, 2,000 calorie diet and just blueprint that and hand it to people, because that's not, that's not really going to work. Everybody's an individual. Everybody's metabolism is different. Your likes and dislikes of certain foods are different. So everybody's different. Even if you had a brother and a sister, or two best friends, same height, same weight, it's really not going to work. You have to get in there and see how their specific body works, because everybody has a different metabolism.
And you say, too, it's important, if you're going to cheat, to be honest about it, right?
Correct.
If you're going to devise a program, you want the person to really follow that program specifically, right? And if
Correct.
you're not, now I'm sure you have people who will cheat and not tell you, and they get frustrated, not losing the weight and saying, hey, Mark, it's not happening, but they're doing things on the side. Now, how difficult is that to have folks tell you, Mark, I fell off the wagon and I had a cheeseburger? How do you deal with that, and what do you tell your clients when you say, hey?
Well, as long as they're honest up front, we can work that in there. It's just a matter of adjusting their proteins, carbohydrates, and fat again. So if I write a specific diet for you,
right.
Well, really a meal plan, but just to get the information out there, we can say diet. I really don't like calling it a diet, because really diets, there's a start and there's an end. The way I do it, it's a meal plan. It's a healthy way of eating. So there's no start and no finish. It's just a way of eating correctly. But basically what happens is I write the meal plans, and I won't really call it a diet, but you write the meal plan, and there's no start, there's no finish to it. And it's just it's a healthy way of eating.
All right, so I got to have a confession. You're working with me, and you said it's important to talk to you. So I'm going to have full disclosure here. I fell off the wagon last week in a big way. I went out with my daughter last week, and there was something we had on our mind, and we finally said, you know what, we're going to do it, and that's what we did over here, Mark. Those 2-foot hot dogs over at Dougie's on the Berlin Turnpike. I just had to have it, man. I mean, I was following your program. You see right here, listen, so I was losing 2 pounds a week. I was losing 2 pounds away. I hit the wall. So if you see the numbers aren't changing, blame it on Dougie's on the Berlin Turnpike. I had to have the 2-foot dog, and I think I set myself back. So now what do I do?
Full disclosure is the best thing. I have a running total of basically how many calories that you're eating throughout the day.
Right.
So once I know that you're going to go out and actually do that, and if that is a habit that you're going to do that, that's fine. I would just make the adjustments week by week as we check in, and I actually just basically a lot for that. So
I
as
can
long as
make
you're
up for
honest,
it.
you can make up for it. It's not
How?
an
But
issue.
tell me how. Tell me how I make up, because I felt guilty after it was over. It tasted real good.
Make sure you stick to your workout program,
Right.
doing your cardiovascular work. And what I would personally do is just for the next day or two, just decrease your calories a little bit. Cut down on your carbohydrates a little bit. And one day is really not going to throw you off. So I don't want people to think that because you go off and you have one cheat meal that you're done. You're really not. You're still in the game. You're still in the program.
That's good news. Let's see one more client, Mr. Noons, I think his name is.
Yes, Nuno Noons.
Nuno Noons. Talk to me about what do we have
Nuno
here?
Noons, great guy.
Which one? Which one? This is the before picture on the right.
The one on the right. The one on the right.
The one on the right. The before picture.
Yeah, he came to me.
285 pounds, right?
285 pounds.
Heavyweight.
Yes.
So let's see. I'm assuming we have the after, Mikey, right? We have some there. Let's see. Bam! Whoa! That's impressive.
That's
200 pounds.
200 pounds. That's
Mike,
right.
can you go back to that? To the 285? Is that possible? Let's go back to that again. So that's him on the right, 285, and then bam! How many months for this?
That took him
That's
probably,
impressive.
we went 2 to 3 pounds a week. In the beginning, he did lose a lot of weight up front.
Right.
It's just as soon as he changes his diet plan, he's going to drop 5, 6, 7 pounds depending on how bad he was eating or his metabolism, things like that. Everybody's different. So you can't say I'm going to lose 5 pounds this week because my friend did it, or I'll lose 10 pounds because my friend did it. Everybody's different.
Has he kept it off?
Yes, he has.
And what was the key for him? What was the key thing you added?
Everything in moderation, but we actually work with the foods that he liked to eat.
Okay.
So we just devised the meal plan that foods that he liked to eat and actually worked it into his daily schedule. So there was no struggle for him.
All right.
He'll actually tell you now that he actually likes eating these foods.
Let's look at Darlene. Here's Darlene. This is before. Now, talk to me about Darlene real quick. Summary, where is she there? And
Darlene?
This is before picture, right?
That's a before picture.
Okay.
And
she wanted to lose and trim up and all that good stuff.
She actually lost 30 pounds. You'll see it in a few seconds in her after picture.
And Mike will go to the after. Bam. Wow, that's impressive, too.
Yeah, that's Darlene after.
So walk me through her now. Different program. Lost 29 pounds.
Yep.
So
Totally separate program. She's actually an avid workout person. She struggled in the past with other diets, other workout programs. That just didn't work for her, and she was actually ready to give up. So when actually I met her, she was actually honest with me. She said, well, I'm not really sure if I'm going to believe in you yet. Let's just take it slow and really see, because she's tried other programs and she's failed at the rest of them. But you don't really want to say that the client really fails.
Right.
I'm going to say that the program failed her because they didn't educate her and teach her what she needed to do.
And that's how many months? 29 pounds in how many months?
That was probably 3.5 months.
Okay.
3.5 months of just taking it slow.
So now with my situation now, looking at, 4 or 5 months, 2 pounds a week. Because when I started losing 2 pounds a week, I didn't think that was good at first. I felt bad. Everyone wants to lose 5, 6 pounds a week. And you kept saying, no, 2 pounds a week, you're on pace. You're on pace. Because it's really sort of a long distance race here, right? You're trying to lose this over a period of time. How many folks get caught up in trying to lose it all in a month and say, 4 weeks, I want to drop 50 pounds. How dangerous is that when you get that mentality?
It's very dangerous. It's very bad on your heart. It's very bad on your system. And even if you were able to attain that, you're not going to keep that off. And most of the weight that you lose will be water, and you're going to be losing some muscle tissue. And the muscle tissue is really what your metabolism is going to be going to. So you want to hold on to your muscle tissue so when you lose the weight, you actually are toned and you're firm, not losing muscle tissue, and then now you're just soft and everything's really just kind of not how it's supposed to be on you.
All right, we'll talk more about what else to do now when we come back. Mark Cottrell, nutritional specialist. He'll outline the biggest mistakes you can make when trying to lose weight. Don't go away. You're watching The Stan Simpson Show. Catch us online 24/7, ctnow.com/Stan. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Don't go away.